Hey guys, Camilo again and my beautiful wife Michelle. Today we're going to talk another shit episode about, so she has a rental and she was renting it through Section 8 and she failed inspection. That sucks.
Section 8 inspection failed this morning. I was super happy. I headed to Homestead. It's a 1-hour commute. And I was assured and reassured by the owner that everything was fixed, everything was fine in the property, that we needed to make sure that would be okay for the inspection. The inspector actually called the owner herself and told her what they were looking for and what needed to happen for the inspection to be approved. I talked to her a few times before and to make sure that everything would happen as it should. I'm leaving out of the country next week, so I need to make sure this is all done before I can go and have my vacation in Medellin, Colombia. So I head to the house this morning, 10 a.m. I'm there making sure everything's okay. The inspector shows up and guess what, guys? We open up the door and the house is not ready. The house is far from being ready. There's actually still boxes from the last person that was living there. The garage is a mess. The inspector comes in. The GFI outlets are not working, which those are like number one priority in any Section 8 inspection you ever do. Those need to work, period. What else? The garbage disposal is not working. The garage door doesn't open. The bathtubs on the second floor are dirty and they need to be they need to put caulking around them. So, I mean, there's just a list of things that they have to do that could have been prevented if they just sent a handyman beforehand to make sure everything is okay and everything is working 100%.
Exactly. That's the reason why we're doing the Shit Happens, guys. Every Friday we do this. Things that happen in business. Things happen in business. Things are not easy, and we want to say what's raw, what's real, the truth. I don't want to hide anything, and I want to share the bad and the ugly about what happens in business. So stuff like this. So based on this scenario, what could we learn or what could we do different so that it doesn't happen again and so that we can prevent it for the future?
So I think it's very important that you make sure that your landlord or the person the owner of the property makes sure that they send a handyman before the Section 8 inspector comes in. A handyman that is very well informed about Section 8 standards for each independent city. So, because every Section 8 housing authority is different. They all have different standards, different rules. So make sure that the handyman knows what he's doing. He comes into the house, he inspects it, he makes sure everything is working. And then you send the inspector and of course your realtor, so nobody wastes their time and everything is just ready for the tenant to move in when they're supposed to move in.
Absolutely. And no matter where your property is located at or your client's property is at, if you're renting it to Section 8 or even not to Section 8, property needs to be up to standard. No broken windows, no broken tiles, no exposed wires. Those are safety hazards, safety issues for the kids especially. Every window needs to have the window screens for the mosquitoes, especially if you're in South Florida, if you're in Florida. Hot water needs to work. Running water needs to work. No leaks underneath the sinks or the toilets or the vanities. Appliances need to work. You know, refrigerator, stove, microwave.
Range, yes.
Everything has to work. Garage. If you have the garage, make sure the door opens. I don't know if you've seen the little gaps in the doors. If you close a door and you turn off the lights, you're not supposed to see any light. Because so the roaches don't come in or any little animals come in, so and the AC doesn't go out. So make sure everything is sealed, that the doors close properly, that the windows open and close properly, that the locks are working. I mean, I can go on and on about what Section 8 requires, but it's all common sense, you know? One of the biggest lessons that I had in one of my failed inspections a few years ago is that they sell for like $5 or $10 an electrical tester in Home Depot. Carry one with you all the time and make sure you test every single outlet in the house. Make sure it's grounded, make sure it's working, so that when people go in and they install a lamp or anything like that, because the inspectors do check these things.
Yes.
They do have a tester and they go room by room checking to make sure that all of these things work.
Yep. So yeah, it's very important to be informed beforehand. of what the inspector is going to be looking for. Make sure that you try to avoid doing many inspections, because it's just a waste of time, and it's not that hard. It's very simple things, basic things that a house needs. So everything should be in place. And another thing that happened with the house today was, they still had stuff in that house, and these people are moving in like in 5 days. This house should already be cleaned out. It should be ready to go. You cannot expect tenants to take care of your stuff, of your property, if you're not having a nice property for them to move in the first place. You're setting up the tone for your tenants and how they're going to behave in your house. So make sure that you receive them the same way you want them to maintain the house. So keep the house clean. Give it to them completely empty. No garbage and nothing for them to have to dispose of, because they don't have to do that. And just make sure that it's a nice place for them to come in, so they leave it the same way that they found it.
Awesome. Those are awesome tips. Thank you guys for watching the Shed Happens episodes on our Cash Flow Talk YouTube channel. Subscribe below if you like this information. We share a ton of information, things that happen to us, lessons that we learn, shit that happens in business. Wednesdays, I interview other investors and mortgage brokers and people that are in the business. I call it deal makers, people that are making deals every day, people that are handling, that are improving the economy of this country. So make sure you tune out to that. And also, we have a lot of videos in our channel that can share. We share a lot of information about investing and about business. So subscribe below, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.